Hello and welcome to a brand new video, this time in Austria. Without further ado, let's get it started. Alright, so let's go through our fastest lap in qualifying. So in Austria now here, few things to mention of course while it's playing in the background. Here 100 meter body on a brake really hard into the right hander. Yeah, I missed the last two races. One of it was in Nürburgring. I really wanted to race in that race, but unfortunately I was not available. I was in vacation. That's the reason why I've missed 2 weeks. So this is the third week here after coming back. So I'm a little bit rusty. Here again, braking the 100 meter board there, braking really hard. That's the hardest turn to turn in that happened there. Yeah, so I missed 2 races and this is my final race that I'm coming back in. So I'm at least happy to finish it off with the last race here. Also with the track, the Red Bull Ring, Austria, which is a track which is quite well known, or at least we know it from Formula 1, so it's quite familiar. And also the braking points seem to be almost close to what you would brake in the Formula 1 game, except for maybe the last sector which we are coming up to as well. But yeah, so this will be the final race of the season. So going through now these final sequences of corners as well. Here this two right-handers really hard to judge. So 75 meter board, you are braking mediumly, not so hard. Here again you want to brake just enough to rotate the car, then going to the right, keep going, and I managed to make a time of a 129.5. So that time was enough to give me a P number 8 with 1 second away from the leader. Okay, so then let's go through the sprint race. Just before that, maybe I should mention that we are merging with tier number 1, so that's the reason why there's a little bit more cars, because our tier and tier number 1 didn't have a lot of guys there, so they decided to merge it. So let's go anyway. So a good start there, I would say. Most of the time my car is not so good in terms of standing start, but so far so good. And here in the 50 meter board I brake really hard, and of course 50 meter is not enough to brake and I go spinning. Yeah, just I didn't know where to brake. Of course in the start you have much slower speed, so you might not know where exactly to brake, but excuses, I'm down to P number 11. Of course I also want to mention here that I apologize after the race to the other guys because of this mistake, but yeah, let's keep going. So start of lap 2, I'm already catching up to this Genesis car in front of me. So he kind of braked a little bit early, so I kind of had to go to the right there to avoid him. And then after that I think he did not see me, so after the race he apologized to me and he also dropped behind me, so all is good. Now to P number 10. So we're coming up to the end of lap 2. The Toyota in front of me is making a meal out of that right hander, so I sense to go to the inside. Of course he's still keeping up with me, so I can't go fully to the left hand side. I have to brake somewhere in the middle of the track. Yeah, so I brake I think a little bit too early and he just managed to go out there. So yeah, kudos to him. And now I'm also being targeted from the back, but still in the same position. So a few laps later, the green car in front there, somehow, yeah, I don't know why here he's braking really early, so I decided to go into the inside there. So yeah, pretty much 2 cars overtaking him in a short span of time. So yeah, P number 9. So in the next lap, the blue car in front there, somehow he decided to brake there. I don't know what's happening, why did he do that, but yeah. So another position, P number 8. You can see that I'm very close to the Toyota, so I guess our pace is quite close, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So the Porsche behind me, or now going to be alongside me, if you look at the radar on the bottom right, so he's going alongside me. So I decided to go the long route, go to the outside, and I get just much more better traction than him, and therefore I'm able to keep my position. Then going to the next lap, yeah, so he's then challenging me now again. He's going to the inside, or he's going to the outside now. I'm going to the inside. So I guess the outside line was the better way to do it. I should say the Genesis, actually, not the Porsche. Yeah, so maybe I should have kept to the outside there, but that's the line I chose. This is already going to be the final lap anyway, so yeah, it's a shame that I lost 1 position there. But yeah, he's going through these corners. He's going a little bit slowly. I sense a little bit of opportunity. I think I still can overtake O'Leary there. So he's going to the inside. I have to tuck back in. so no way past here, so keeping really close to him, so seeing if he makes any mistake, and he really goes very wide here. This is where I sense to go to the inside there, yeah, or now towards the outside there, and he's keeping to the inside line for the right hander that is coming up. So there's only two ways that this can end, and I think he backed out a little bit here, so just managed to make the corner as well myself. And here I just brake so late there. You can see the car is understeering so much. He somehow clashes into me a little bit, and then he somehow has some moment as well, so I hope that didn't cause him to lose that position there, but I think that was my mistake. But anyway, P number 8. Alright, so then with that, let's go to the feature race. So in the last sprint race I started 8th, finished 8th, so now I'm starting number 6, of course, with the inverted grid. Yeah, let's see what I can do here. Of course, now I won't be dive bombing because now we are going in a moving start, and yeah, so let's see how it would go. So we have Mr. O'Leary in front of me, the Genesis, and the green hell behind of me. So yeah, so I'm going much more tentatively. I'm braking much earlier than the 100-meter board there, and this causes the guy behind me, the major XTC there, the Toyota, to be right behind my bumper there. So here I'm having to go a little bit defensive because that's how I need to be. I've already lost contact with the guys in front there, which is a shame. So here I'm going a little bit defensive, and yeah, just about managed to keep that position in front. There was also a little bit of kerfuffle there, so that's why I managed to catch back up to them. Yeah, looking at the radar, I'm somewhere in a sandwich. I'm quite close to the guys in front, so I'm just have to be a little bit careful, of course, in the start as well. I don't want to do a lot of mistakes. Here the McLaren brakes really early there, so managed to gain one position there, but I think, yeah, now we are alongside each other, so I'm leaving him space on the outside there. So I'm going to the inside, and so he has to yield going through this sequence of corners. Yeah, I'm just going as good as I can go. So up to P number 5 already, as you can see in the position. Then I make a bad mistake there. Yeah, I've just understeered there, brake really late there. That's why the understeer was made. So I'll lose 2 positions now to P number 7. And here I'm going to the inside to the outside, and then yeah, just choosing the wrong lines, I would say. Then here I make a meal out of the corner absolutely terribly, so I miss even the circuit itself, and now the music comes into play. So everything is kicking up. Get a penalty as well, 1.5 with music in the background. I'm sorry for the music. I don't know how the music in fact came into existence as well. I think I might have triggered there something, and I get past now again with 2 cars there. Yeah, just a bad sequence of corners there towards the end of sector 3 and up to sector 1 there. Here just picking my line, I brake a little bit earlier than I could, and then there was a dive bomb there that was made as well from the car there. So yeah, I'm just dropping like stone now to P number 10, and also being targeted now behind by the leader of our tier. So here I decided just to let him go because I just didn't want to challenge him. It'll be wasting both of our time. So now back to P number 11. So yeah, very low. Anyways, I'm in P number 11, so the guy in front is serving a penalty, so it's an easy position for me up to P number 10. Lap number 12 is when I decided to come into the pits. So some of the other guys came into the pits a little bit earlier. I could have come in, I think, at least 2 laps earlier, but I thought that this was the best time to come in. Yeah, so changing my tires from mediums to soft. I usually start in the harder compound tire, or the medium is the harder compound of tires. Now I'm going back to the soft tires, so I'm coming out in P number 12, but there are still some guys who have not pitted yet, so let's see how it goes. Jumping now to lap number 20, absolutely nothing happened in between, and now there's a McLaren that has spun, and also someone in the pits. So yeah, 2 positions, so up to P number 7. So with the music playing in the background, let's go through our final lap on my side and the race's penultimate lap. Yeah, so let's look at some retrospectives. So I managed to make my way all the way back to P number 7 after the kerfuffle that happened in the beginning. So that is owing to really my consistent timing. You can see on the right hand side of the screen there from lap 17 at least to 25 that you can see. It has been quite stable, so I think that has helped me to make sure that I can keep pace with the guys around me, and that's also the reason why I could not challenge anybody, because that was really my pace. I couldn't really challenge the guy in front of me, and the guy behind me as well was keeping somewhere in that pace. Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna finish now in P number 7, and also absolutely nothing happened after coming into the pits, and even before that nothing much really happened. Yep, so a look back, I think in the qualifying, yeah, I think that was pretty much my pace. Even in testing I didn't even go that low to 129.5, so I think that was my optimal lap time. In the sprint, of course, I made that kamikaze dive bomb in the start. That could have been avoided, and I think I could have done maybe a little bit better if that didn't happen, but that is what it is. And then of course in the feature race, in the beginning laps, I did really badly there, so could have done better there. But now coming in to the final part there, so it is already the final lap, and yep, finish in P number 7. Okay, so what does that do to the championship standings, the final standings? So I ultimately finished in P number 8. So it says there I finished in 6th and 4th position. That's because, as I mentioned to you, we merged tiers with tier number 1. So of course that means that I get a good haul of points. That's always good, of course. And in the constructors we finished in P number 5. So of course I'm not really looking into the positions and the rankings per se. This season itself, I would say, is just my beginning in terms of GT7 racing. That's how I treated it, and maybe in the next season I will be training a little bit more in terms of a few things that I want to try. I know what things I want to try already, so I want to become better, of course. So let's see how that would go. In the meantime, this would be my last video for this season. There will be an endurance race coming up soon, I think in 2 weeks time. So that would be fun, 2-hour endurance race, so hoping to do a little bit better there. So I need to do some training, of course. So in the meantime, so thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video.